Welcome to the podcast. Stop Crying Poser, greatest podcast known to man as voted by Aghavni, Anahit, Alex, Alexander, Ani, Anshavan, Aram, Areg, and Arpi. Yeah, I typed in common Armenian names. Hope you guys are having a great week. Who do we have in the chat? Day-Day, Curlsies, Double O, Cam, Punk Rock, Guyges, Fletcher, J-Rod, Eric Sanchez, Fitnoy, Day-Day, Punk, Day-Day, Chillin' Pete, Cam 702, and maybe even a couple of lurkers. We do this podcast every single Friday right around 3:30 p.m. Pacific time, and today is a historic moment because we started the podcast 5 minutes early. Can you believe that? You know, there have been days where we've done the podcast 2 hours late. You know, you show up to some jobs 2 hours late and they fire you. But today, I'm trying to get a promotion, trying to get a raise, trying to raise these nuts into your mouth with an entertaining podcast. So you guys should strap in and get ready. It has been an eventful week, but all of the topics I have today are kind of short, so we are going to hobble along. Last night, what did I do? Well, I stream here on Twitch 5 days a week on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Last night, I went to the old Walmart and grabbed some chicken drumsticks. I wanted some chicken thighs, but Joe Biden told me that was going to be impossible due to the amount of money in my wallet. So I got these shitty-ass drumsticks and some mac and cheese for $1.20. Went home and made some drumsticks and mac and cheese like a goddamn piece of trash. And also, to go along with the trash, I bought some twisted teas. And I'm a big fan of the sweet drinks. You guys know that. Usually I'd be drinking a Steel Reserve 211. But last night, all I could get at Walmart was the twisted teas. I was going for the Mike's Harder Lemonade. I feel like those are a better bang for your buck. You know, even if you're going to spend $18 for a 12-pack, at least you're getting 8% alcohol, when instead I spent $18 for 12 beers, which is insane. But they're only 5% alcohol with the twisted teas. Although I've heard they have like twisteder teas, like extra twisted teas. Anyways, I say to myself, you know what? I'll drink one or two on stream, and you're holding one, and then you drink it and you set it down and you don't think about it. It's like autopilot. I go on autopilot. I walk to the fridge. I get another one. I drink it. By the time I get to my chair, it's already gone. Then I go back and then I look down. By the end of the stream, I've drinking 8 of these things because they're so delicious. They go down so easy. I think part of it's because they're not carbonated. The worst thing they did with alcohol is make everything carbonated, right? Because now I got to burp. Now it slows me down. Now I can't drink so fast. That twisted tea goes down like, you ever been really thirsty out skateboarding and someone gives you the blessing of a Gatorade and then you drink the Gatorade faster than you've ever drank in any liquid on earth? That's how the twisted teas typically affect me. And you think you're only going to drink one, you drink all 8. I could drink the twisted tea even faster than I could drink a White Claw because the carbonation slows you down. I wonder if you guys have any experience with that. The good news is I woke up today, 0 hangover, no problem at all, because of all the vitamins and nutrients in lemons and in twisted iced tea lemonade. Wait, is it tea or is it lemonade? It's yellow, so I always assume it's lemonade. When I drink it, I'm thinking of lemonade. Also, iced tea has lemons in it, right? So maybe that's what it is. It's all the vitamins and nutrients in the twisted tea that prevented a hangover. Surely it is. Also, this podcast is brought to you by Twisted Tea. It's delicious on a Sunday evening. I'm just kidding. Can you imagine if we had a Twisted Tea sponsor? Remember we had the Steel Reserve 211 sponsor. What a disaster that was. Let's not talk about that. What else has been going on in my life? Well, last week was a rough one. And I don't know if I got a chance to talk to you guys about this, but for those of you who have been watching, every day I've been bitching. Last Friday, I went to a Golden Knights game, a preseason game. Had a great time. Spent way too much money because you go in there and a beer is like $22. Just ridiculous. You drink 2 beers and now you got to get like a payday loan. So I go there, spend all my money, and then on the way back, my neighbor calls me. He goes, "Hey, are you home? I see your car's in front of your house." I say, No, I'm not. I'm not home. Somebody picked me up. I'll be home soon." He says, "Well, somebody on a four-wheeler crashed into your fence in your front yard and broke your fence down." So in front of my yard, I have a chain link fence. It's only like 4 feet tall, and it doesn't like keep out intruders or anything. But what it's there for is so I can let the dog out. When my grandpa originally built the fence, we had a dog then, and it's nice to go outside when the weather's good, sit there, put out like a little lawn chair and watch your dog run around the front yard without being able to escape. You know, none of these stray ghetto dogs can attack my dog, and my dog can't escape. Well, not anymore. Now my fence got flattened like a smash burger. Can't wait to eat smash burgers tomorrow. My fence got flattened, and a couple days later, on Sunday, I actually got a chance to meet the guy that crashed into my fence, and I played it cool. Okay, I played it cool. I was like, "Hey, dude, I know accidents happen. You kind of fucked up my fence or whatever." And before I could tell him, like my plan, like I'm gonna fix it, and if I run into problems, you know, you're either gonna have to come help or buy me a new post or something. Before I could even say anything, he goes, "Hey, bro, I already bought some parts. I'm gonna fix this as soon as I can. I'll fix it. I got the tools." And I was like, "Oh, like that was actually really nice of him." He didn't speak the best English, but spoke good enough English to where we came to the agreement where he's like, "Yeah, I already bought some parts. When my other parts come in, I'll just come over. I'll fix the whole fence. It'll be good as new." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And then I was like, "You know what, dude? Accidents happen. Don't worry about it. No big deal. I'm happy that no one got hurt because, you know, people do get hurt on those all the time." So my neighbor was there. He like mediated the whole thing. I guess maybe thought I was going to be in a bad mood about it, but I have so many other things in my day-to-day life that's stressing me out. You know, just my fence falling apart is just another, you know, just another annoying thing that happens in a long string of annoying things. So I try not to get too upset about it. I have a lot of other things to worry about. I thought I could fix it myself. I bent all the posts back, and I have this top bar that I tried to put back in, but the top bar is so badly damaged that it's kind of fucked up. So I'm going to need another bar, maybe a coupler, and the fence is weak now. But it doesn't matter because no one's climbing on the fence. I don't need the fence to be strong. I just need it to hold in the dog. But another funny thing that happened is my neighbor was like, "Yeah, man, sucks for you," you know, kind of like whatever. And then he's like, "But you know what? It's a good thing I wasn't here." Because he has like an Escalade or a Denali or something. He's like, "If I would have been here, usually I park right there. So if my car would have been here, if I wasn't at work or whatever, that shit would have ran into my fucking Denali, and it would have been a different story." I'm like, "Yeah, you know what, dude? It's like I'll take one for the team today, dude. I'd much rather have my worthless fence get destroyed than your like very nice car." So it worked out good. And yeah, they came over, they tried to apologize, but I wasn't home. And the guy said he would fix it, but it's been 7 days and haven't seen him, haven't talked to him, whatever. I have a big rock in my front yard too it's too heavy for me to lift. I mean, I could probably lift it. It's probably like 200 pounds or 250 pounds, but it's so awkward to grab because it's all lopsided and weird. And I'm going to need some help moving that rock to where it used to be because my front yard has like this desert landscape. And they left some crazy mud tracks and shit, but not a big deal. Not a big deal. It just feels, you know, it's just nice to complain. But it definitely chilled me out knowing that he took responsibility and shit because you never know. That could have went two different ways. You know, a guy could come over and say, "Hey, my four-wheeler fell on your property and I broke my leg." And I'd be like, "Well, what happens?" And he's like, well, you have homeowners insurance, right? So, yeah, where's the settlement? Where's the money? So I'm glad that didn't happen. I don't know if that's how it would work. You know what I mean? Like someone recklessly driving into my house, I shouldn't have to pay for their injuries, but you never know. So the way that it's going thus far, I'm happy, I'm content. Could have went a lot worse. What else has been going on this week? I rode my skateboard. You guys know that I try to land a trick every single week. So the video comes out on Friday, which is the same day that we record this live. I did a nollie, I guess what we would call it, nollie big spin front lip slide. Although you could also just call it nollie shove it front lip slide. I think that would also be a good way to call it. And I landed one pretty easily. Then I went for a nollie, shove, lip slide, shove. So like 270 shove in and then like a quarter shove on the way out. And I've landed it before. In fact, interesting little piece of trivia for you guys. The first time I ever attempted nollie, big spin, lip, shove, I landed it on my very first attempt ever. So this was many years ago, and it's on YouTube. The video's on YouTube, although my camera is a little bit out of focus. It was when I first got the DSLR camera. But I landed it first try, first time ever attempting it. So then here we are, fast forward 10 years later. I'm like, dude, you know what? I'll try this trick. I noticed that in my video part, or my highlight video, at the end of every year, I take every trick that I landed for Friday videos and I make a highlight video. Kind of like, these are all the cool tricks I did this year. You know, like a highlight video. Obviously, that's what it is. Not really a video part, but technically it's both. And it's mostly skate park footage and flat bar footage. And I've been talking so much shit lately on Steve Hates Skating about people who don't put switch in their video part, people who don't put nollie in their video part. So I was thinking, dude, we're getting close to the end of the year. I better start doing some switch and some nollie, or else by the time I release this video part, people are gonna call me like a hypocrite or something. So we're going for it. We got some nollie tricks. I landed one kind of sloppy. I mean, it's not the worst one ever done, but I also know what I'm capable of. So I'm going to try that. I ate shit. If you guys haven't seen the video, as I was attempting it, I ate shit. I did the nollie shove. I landed in like a willy grind, or I guess maybe like a sugar cane. I don't know what you guys would call it. Low-C grind? I'm sure there's a name for it. Anyways, I landed in something, and the board slipped out, and I fell directly onto my back. Almost impaled my back on the rail. I mean, my back did make contact with the rail, but my arms caught myself in such a way that the fall looks way worse than it is. But I scraped my palms. Both the skin came off my palms. And I blasted my elbow. So I had a little mini swellbo for the past 2 days. So it didn't work out good. But the good thing was, for such an uncontrolled fall, to fall so hard and then be able to get up and be like, okay, no broken bones, I'm not bleeding, nothing's in like extreme pain. Even though everything is hurting, nothing was like that bad. You know, I've had like shinners. I've had like a tray flip gone wrong and just catch me in the right part of the shin that, you know, takes me out of commission harder than this perceivably really bad fall. But everything worked out good. You know, the older I get, I'm like, okay, like we can't be falling that hard. We can't take many of those falls. If I fall like that every week, then within the first month, I'm going to break a bone. Another thing that happened, since I haven't grinded's probably the worst word. Since I haven't practiced nollie tricks or flat bar tricks, or really anything that requires a real ollie, you know, I've been doing a lot of transition. I've been doing a lot of mini ramp stuff. My body had kind of like atrophied or whatever, so I am really, really sore. Not only from the falls, but also sore from like bending down and bending back up, and I usually don't jump off my right foot. So since the trick was nollie, I was using my opposite foot, and my right leg is just dead the next day, and then still today, and then it'll probably still be bad tomorrow. But at least we got something out of it. If you guys haven't seen the video, I did manage to land the trick I was trying, but not as clean as I wanted. And like I said at the beginning, I know I'm capable of landing it cleaner, so why not challenge myself to do that next week? I also really want to do a switch 50-50, which I know is not a difficult trick for me, but since I haven't skated flat bar lately and I haven't been ollieing at all, I'm having a big problem with the confidence needed to do these tricks. Because for those of you who aren't skateboarders, you can apply this to a lot of things, pretty much all action sports. But a lot of the trick, especially at this level in skating, comes down to confidence. Because if you ollie and you go for a trick and in the middle of it you doubt yourself, you're going to fall, and you're going to fall really hard. There has to be like absolute commitment. If at the very last second your toe moves a little bit, you're going to eat shit. And the same applies to like handrails or flip tricks. You know, if you doubt yourself catching a trick primo versus catching it on the grip tape, and you hold on to that rather than be focused enough to kick it out, you're going to get hurt. And the same thing for a handrail, you know, even if you're doing a basic trick, even if you're doing like a board slide, if you, in the middle of that trick, if you short circuit a little bit, or if you have any doubt in yourself, the board will leave your feet and you will end up eating shit. So I got a bunch of techniques that I try to use in skating to prevent that. But the switch grind was actually more scary to me when I was rolling up to it than the nollie big spin front lip shove. So we will try to address that next week. I'm guessing that if I can land my initial trick clean, the nollie shove, lip slide shove, then I should immediately go for switch grind, because my body will be on like that adrenaline kind of like high, you know, and I can just ride through off that. I don't know what it would be like. Adrenaline's probably not the right word, but that's the plan for next week. That's the confidence plan. It was really hot on that day too. I bet you guys are getting so tired of me complaining about the heat, but I've been regurgitating this statistic all week. In 2024, I think today marks 105 days of the year. So the year is 2024. And what is the date right now? The date is October 4th. So I don't know how many days that is in the year. But this year, the temperature has been over 100 degrees for 105 days. So that's a third of the year. And I don't say that to fucking one-up everybody. I know it is kind of a weird flex, and I do always be flexing how hot it is here, because I think a lot of people don't realize that. But there's entire months that go by here, like month 1, month 2, you know, when it really gets hot, July, August, where the lowest temperature for multiple weeks, you know, even at 4 in the morning, is 80 degrees. And then I can talk to somebody who lives in the Midwest, and they're like, oh yeah, the hottest it got all year here was 85. And I'm like, dude, we had a day here where it was 85 at 5 a.m. So I guess I'm just saying that to make a long-winded excuse. I have a hard time skating, not only because I'm old and fat and out of shape and washed up and whatever, but also because it's a very inhospitable place to try and skate. I went to Walmart the other day. It was quite crowded. This is kind of a double topic. I went to Walmart because I've been really like looking at their knife section, because I keep seeing on Reddit, I follow this Reddit called Budget Blades, and I guess they're selling a really nice pocket knife called OZARK Trail. It's orange, and the steel type is D2, which is, I guess, a really nice quality of steel for a pocket knife. And they're selling these pocket knives. Usually the steel quality of these knives, the knife would be like $50, but for some reason it's Walmart, so the knife is like $9. So if you guys see any of these knives in your local Walmart, if you see the orange OZARK that says D2 on it, it's usually a black blade. If you guys see that, tell me and buy it, and I'll pay the shipping, and I'll give you a couple bucks and mail me a couple. I want to buy 2 or 3 so I can give out to friends as like Christmas gifts and shit. So if you guys go to your local Walmart, check it out. It's like a bright orange handle. It's going to say D2 on it, like steel type D2. And it'll be black. Or take a picture of it and send me on Discord. I need you guys to go out there and buy me some shit. Okay, get to work. Anyways, I was at Walmart. I was driving past it. I went in there to look for the knives. Didn't have it at that Walmart. It's actually like the Super Walmart by me is really ghetto, and nothing is upkept. In fact, the knives aren't even on display. It's a cardboard box with like the number. What do you call it? Like the SKU. I'm having like a brain fuck right now. It just has like the barcode for the knives. You don't actually get to see what the knife looks like, and there's no description of it, and they're locked behind a cage. So I'm in there with my phone fucking zooming in, trying to get the numbers right, trying to see if it's the correct box, so that then later I can call someone to come open the fucking thing. Anyways, they don't have them at my Walmart. But I also noticed as I was looking around, shortage of toilet paper. Pissing me off. Did we learn nothing from COVID? I guess there's a big port strike, which is what I've been reading. And I don't know what that means, dude. You guys are talking to somebody who is literally a stupid person. I guess there was a port strike, which means all the goods that come from other countries, the people that work on those, sorting them and getting them to your grocery stores and shit. I guess that was there was a big strike threat. So everyone thought that food was not going to be on the shelves. And I don't know why people go straight for toilet paper. I mean, I do know why, because I be shitting, dude. I be doo-dooing hard. Today, especially, I let out some. I think it was from the 8 Twisted Teas. But I was letting out some squirty McGlurties, my boy. So toilet paper is very important to me. In fact, if you type in !wish and you look at my Amazon wish list, if any of you guys want to do something nice for me, the first 2 items on that wish list are toilet paper. So if you guys ever want to buy me something, there's also water on there. If you want to buy me water, you guys don't want me to be dehydrated, do you? Type in the chat wish and you can buy me toilet paper, or you can buy me water. You don't have to buy me anything. But let's just say you want me to be a healthy and happy person without shit on my ass. Let's pretend that you wanted that future for me. Then now you have the opportunity to do something nice for your favorite streamer and podcaster. Anyways, toilet paper was gone, port strike. I heard the port strike's already over. I haven't researched that because I don't even know. I don't even know what that means, port strike. But I do remember when COVID started, bro, the shelves were empty and toilet paper was the first thing to go. What do you guys think about the people that hoarded the toilet paper? I remember seeing a video, I think it was from here in Las Vegas, where somebody had a pickup truck and they covered the entire back of the pickup truck up with all the toilet paper in the store. So, I don't know, let's say you have like a 48 pack. They must have had 20 of those. It looked like a bale of hay. And I imagine it's either to stock up or it's to resell. And I wonder, do we hate those people or do we appreciate the capitalism here, right? Do we appreciate, hey, they got there first. There's no rule against buying it. I think it could be compared to the return your shopping cart, right? Like, let's say the shelves are going to go empty. You know what? Instead of buying 1 thing of toilet paper, buy 3. You know, fuck it. Prepare, take care of you, your family, and your butthole. Buy 3. You go in there buying 30 and 40 of those things. You know what? It's not illegal, but it certainly doesn't make you a good person. I think that's my opinion. I guess I'd be curious. To hear your guys' opinions, because they're not doing anything illegal, right? They're not breaking any laws, but they are making life harder for their fellow man. Then again, if they're providing toilet paper for their friends and neighbors at a slightly higher price, okay, maybe fair is fair, you know what I mean? But also, that's not what was happening. Because you go on their Facebook Marketplace, you see a toilet paper bundle and it's fucking $100, and somebody out there is going to buy it because their butthole's exploding right now. OGZ says stores can enforce their policy, 1 per family. I mean, they can try. They could try to enforce that. If you got a family with 4 people in it and you guys each have a bundle, now you got 4. And then if you go out the store, come back an hour later, now you got 4 more. You go to a different checkout person, you got 4 more. And I guess anyone who's already going to buy 40 bundles of toilet paper, I assure you that the inconvenience of ripping off the store is not going to bother them. I guess. I don't know. I understand that there should be a way to combat that. Anyways, no toilet paper at Walmart and no knives. Go to your local Walmart and buy me the OZARK D2 knife. And most of them are in orange. If you get one in black, that'd be even better. But I think the black ones, you got to make sure that it's D2 steel. That's like the type of steel. Some of them might just say stainless steel. You know what? Send me a picture on Discord if you find them, and help me out, and I'll help you out. We had a hurricane happen as well. Hurricane happened to half the country, and although I do see it on the news all day long, I'm seeing so much conflicting information. I wish I just understood why we can't help those people and I guess hard to find out where they are with no electricity or cell phone service, right? Half of them are underwater, but there should be an easier way for Americans, for us to be considered a first world country. We should be able to help and save those people. And I keep reading some shit about FEMA. No one's allowed to go help. It's against the law, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know what's real and what's fake, but I do think that that this should not be so hard to figure out. I mean, the storm kind of came from out of nowhere. I guess they didn't give people a lot of warning, but I read about the storm 3 days before it happened. Luckily, I have our local meteorologist in the chat room, Day, always alerting us on, severe weather changes. So I knew that something was going to happen, and they showed these radars that show this giant, massive storm coming towards the coast. And you're like, okay, like I don't expect everyone to be able to pack up and leave. But I would think that in this country, with all the resources we have, that we would have at least been prepared to give these guys some food and water in each major city, or give them a place to hide out where you can distribute food and water. So I don't know, man. I guess I don't know what's going on, but I do try to give our country, the United States of America, I try to give us the benefit of the doubt as far as try to take care of each other. But then also, as I say that, this is on the heels of a topic about toilet paper. So I don't really know if we can be trusted. But I guess I wish we were doing better. From what I've heard, big problem over there with the hurricane. Maybe you guys can let me know. We have a couple of regular chatters in here that live in Florida, but I guess some of the more severe damage is not in Florida, it's in other areas. And even that, I don't know which areas, because we hear about these big cities or, bigger towns, but there's got to be some little tiny towns too that are also getting completely fucked. And the last death toll that I read said 200 people dead, which if they say 200, that means it's 1,000. If they tell you 200, that to them, they're always going to lowball you with that shit. If they say there's 500 missing, there's 2,000 missing. So, hopefully that shit works out. It seems like a real nightmare. What else has been going on? I've been watching a lot of the X-Files. I know I'm talking about X-Files every single week now because every week I'm like 5 or 10 more episodes in. So get used to the X-Files topics because season 1 was 24 episodes. I think there's like 10 seasons. So unless I get really tired of this show, like really quickly, you guys are going to be hearing about X-Files for the next 5 months on this podcast. But one thing I'm noticing is the main star of the X-Files, Mulder, Fox Mulder is his name. He works for the FBI. And he has to investigate things that are like paranormal, right? Just giving you guys kind of a recap of what the show is about. So whenever there's like a report of a ghost that murdered someone, they send him. And he either decides if he believes the ghost could be real or if he decides that it's one big elaborate hoax. That's kind of the basis of the show. Anyways, what I'm noticing is about the FBI that perhaps I didn't know about is if you work for the FBI, you can be a complete asshole to your boss and nothing will ever happen. You can barge into like the president of the FBI's office and go, "Hey asshole, this is bullshit. There's a ghost over there and you're going to need to give me some clearance." Apparently that exists in the FBI, which my knowledge of even my small knowledge of any job that even had a cubicle. If you do that, you're immediately going to either get fired or get your ass beat. You're either getting the fuck out of here immediately. First off, you're not coming to my fucking office. You're gonna be escorted the fuck out of here. Also, I'm noticing that I guess when the X-Files came out, the Constitution didn't exist because this fool is breaking every like government overstep law that you could ever do. Bro walks into people's houses. He's like, "I'm part of the FBI." Kicks in the door. He shows up to like the dead person's house, sneaks in the back, breaks the window open, sneaks in the back room to find evidence. Like that's not completely fucking illegal. Like Americans have no rights. And I keep every episode this fool breaks some obvious law that a cop could never do. He's over here shooting indoors at fucking like aliens and shit. What are you doing, man? I also love, I know it's not a big deal, and back then it wasn't a big deal, but I also love the way that the X-Files does what I would call like the fake like tactical gun shit. I swear to God, I watched this fool Mulder run at top speed with his gun in his hand, with his finger on the trigger, running through the sewer. Like trying to capture a fucking fish monster or something. And I'm like, dude, what is this tactical shit? And the way that they carry the gun when they're like coming around corners and shit is just ridiculous. And then I also love that every time that either this is in a lot of action shows, anytime either a cop or a criminal, whenever like it's about to get serious, there's always like, oh shit, we're gonna have to do something. And they cock their gun. Like, bro, you're in law enforcement. You were cruising around with a cold gun. Wait a minute, dude. Also, you've cocked your gun 3 times now. Like in this episode, there's been 3 like, oh shit, we're going in. Oh fuck, we're already in the building. Oh, wait a minute, he escaped. It's like, dude, that's not how a gun works, my friend. You're gonna have to get these rounds off the ground right now because you're tearing up my fucking crime scene. Anyways, X-Files is great. I am for the most part enjoying it. I started to watch the Vince McMahon documentary. I'm not sure if I talked about this last week, but I started to watch it, and I was really hoping it was gonna get nasty. I was really hoping they were gonna talk about his like. He got charged with like some crazy felonies, and I'm not going to talk about those on stream right now because YouTube be banning some buzzwords. But anyways, Vince McMahon did some shit to somebody multiple times. Like he just had a crazy past, and they're not talking about any of it, bro. I'm 4 episodes in. All they want to talk about is Bret Hart. Come on, dude. I got to hear the dirt. I got to hear, as the kids would say, the tea. I need the twisted tea that's going on here. So anyways, I'm not sure if I'm going to finish the whole Vince McMahon documentary. Although I was watching it, and I know this is like the narcissism, like the grandeur, is that how you say it, of me? But I'm watching Vince McMahon talk about tricking the audience to where they don't know if he's playing a character or if he's being himself, because they kind of intertwine, you know, like the character he plays is kind of like an extension of him. And I thought about that in terms of my Steve Hates Skating Instagram. I don't want you motherfuckers to know if I'm joking. I want people to be on there and to think that I'm the most negative asshole ever. But all you would have to do is the tiniest amount of research to see how obvious it is that I'm being sarcastic. But I was watching Vince McMahon talk about himself and how he wants the audience to perceive him. And I thought to myself, dude, that's how I want these kids on Instagram to perceive me. I don't want them to know if I'm being sarcastic, if I'm being serious, if I'm joking, if my laugh is fake. I don't want them to know if I'm a good guy or a bad guy. I don't want them to know like if I donated to charity or anything. I want to give them this vague idea of what my skateboarding presence is, and then let them do the rest of like, let them decide who my character is. And it also made me think to myself that, you know what? Maybe I would have been a good pro wrestler. I don't tell you guys that very often, but before I discovered skateboarding, I was a big fan of WCW. And I wanted, for real, to go to like wrestling school and learn to be a wrestler. I wanted to be like Rey Mysterio Jr. doing backflips. And then I think I don't know, like even just doing a podcast and how I think that my jokes are funny. And, you know, I think that when I play pool, I think my shit talk is really good. You know, I think I can make people laugh. And I thought to myself, you know, dude, I would have been a good pro wrestler. But you know what? I'll just be the pro wrestling version of a shit talking skateboarder on YouTube and on Instagram. And that will be my legacy, as long as the greatest Mario player to ever live. So if that's all I ever amount to, then I'd say I pulled it off. I pulled off the the ninja lifestyle dream. Anyways, that's all I have for today's podcast. I'm lying. I have one more topic. My friend Gonzo. He is the first filmer I ever really had. We kind of came up together in skateboarding. He started his filming career, filming skateboarding, and now he works for like Disney or Pixar or DreamWorks or something like that. And he just came out with a new movie where he works as an animator. So I'm going to need all of you guys who have followed my skateboarding career, my career, quote career. If you guys have been following my skateboarding for any amount of time, it's thanks to, in part, by Gonzo for spending so much time with me and skating and filming. So to support my friend and our friend in our little corner of skateboarding, we all have to go see his new movie. It's called The Wild Robot. I guess it's about a robot that discovers like a bird, and then the robot takes care of the bird and learns how to live life as a bird. Listen, I don't know. I barely watched the trailer. It's supposed to be really good. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has like a 98 and a 95. It's like the best animated shit right now. I can't wait to go watch it. Maybe on Sunday or Monday. So I'm very excited for that. And if you guys have any interest in my old skating career, go watch The Wild Robot and stay for the credits. And as the credits roll, and when it says animators, look for the name Chris Gonzo Gonzalez, and then you'll know that you supported my friend. So that'd be cool too. Yeah, buy me knives from Walmart and go support my friend's movie. And you know what I'm going to be doing? As the credits roll, I'm going to have my phone out. And when I see his name, I'm going to hit record and zoom in. And then I'm going to send that to him and say, hey, I'm watching your movie, even though you didn't ask me to. And then I'm going to say, I told everyone on my podcast to watch your movie, even though we haven't spoken in months. So support your friends out there. Can I get a, oh, hell yeah, from those of you who are still in the chat? If you tuned in late, don't worry. The repeat of this podcast comes out on iTunes, on Podbean, on Spotify, on Podcast app, anywhere where you can find podcasts, on YouTube, anywhere where podcasts exist, you can find this podcast. Stop Crying Poser. Feel free to tell a friend about the podcast so that it can grow and I can get even more toilet paper from those of you who are nice enough to buy it for me. Shout out to Gyges for his 34 months of subscriptions. Shout out to J-Rod for a gift sub, to Dick Maximus. I appreciate the support. You guys can always send me money if you have money, but if you don't have money, that's fine. You know, tell a friend. If you do have money, send me $1. Send me $2. You know what I'm going to do with it? I'm going to buy a beer because I deserve a beer, goddammit. Shout out to OGZ, J-Rod, Cam, Cryptic, On Average, Icklig, Penner, Gyges, Fletcher, Boy, Node, For Joy, Chillin' Pete, Day, Derek, Gats, Curlsies, Fletcher, Day, OGZ, Boy, Derek. I probably said everybody's name twice at that point. I hope you guys have a great weekend. And as I always say, don't drink too much and don't drink too little. All right, go buy me some knives immediately. Chop, chop.